Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Texas Hardcore here. Just gonna do a video for some Amazon pickups that I just got a couple of days ago. Um, First couple actually were in a different package from the ones that, well, just had a bunch, but I had something else, non physical media related, come in a package. So anyway, opened that one up, but the first thing here that I wanted to show was Dragged Across Concrete. Just saw this fairly recently with Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn. This is by the same director that did Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99. And this one was just as amazing as those other two were. So that was fairly cheap, and I thought I'd pick it up. The next one is the whoa, whoops, True Sounds of Liberty biopic. Ignore Heroes. This is just on a DVD, but this is about the band True Sounds of Liberty, and their singer Jack Grisham directed this. They have one of the best albums back in 1981, Dance With Me, which I think is an incredible record. And of course, they've had a bunch of others, but they're basically an amazing band who I've always liked, except for their incarnation when Jack wasn't singing for them and they had somebody else. But that's just my opinion on that. But on the back here, it has this funny thing, this quote. It says, "We had this wheel of fortune, and you can spin it, and whatever it lands on, that's what the day calls for. So maybe it's endless drugs, maybe it's arson or burglary." So, yeah, that some people, can be a mess. So, all right, so I got this huge Amazon package here. We're gonna rip this baby open here, and we'll go through what's inside. Yeah. It's like that Nick Lowe song, "I love the sound of breaking glass." Instead, it's like, "I love the sound of ripping paper." Yeah, this is going to be a mixed bag of stuff because a lot of different things that I um, picked up. Some are DVDs, some are Blu-rays. Just the Blu-rays are because that's just the way they came. No Blu-rays for them and whatnot. All right. Okay. So one of the Blu-rays was this one, Motherless Brooklyn, with Edward Norton in it. I saw this in the theater a few years back when it came out. It's got Bruce Willis in it also. It's about a detective that's got Tourette's, and he's trying to like figure out the like his friend gets killed, and he's trying to figure it out. And then there's of course complications on the way because of his Tourette's and things of that sort. But I thought this was an amazing movie. And I'd actually kind of forgot about it, and I was looking up something on it, Edward Norton, and I, saw it in his list, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to check that out again, and I really liked it. So, and he directed it as well. It's a very good movie. I highly recommend it. And then there's Surveillance with Bill Pullman and Carrie Ann Moss, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry, it's Julia Ormond. Um, this was a good one too. It's a kind of a serial killer type flick, and there's a bunch of different, things going on. Um, this one kind of, it's not exactly like Suspect Zero, but it sort of came out around the same time, and I liked both of them. And I think I did own this one time on DVD, and I needed to pick it up. And it's another one I highly recommend. Then there's this one, Blood Creek, which I don't remember. I've seen this. I don't remember much about it, but I remember that I really liked it because Michael Fassbender was in it and Henry Cavill, and it was pretty interesting. And there was this guy. He's kind of like this. You can almost say he's kind of a monster, but it has some stuff to do with this guy that would practice the occult, um, that was in the Third Reich and stuff like that, and it's kind of a crazy one. So yeah, that's just a short review on that. Then the next three are some movies that I picked up. There was a couple of them that were, well, one of them actually, I thought that all three of them were at the time, but I'd been reading about some of the movies Jonathan Kaplan did, who did, uh, oh, jeez, the Truck Turner, which is one of my favorite blaxploitation films with Isaac Hayes, but he did Over the Edge, and so I was checking his filmography, and he had done a few other blaxploitation films, and one was this one with Jim Brown called The Slams, and I had never heard about this one at all, and so I looked it up and saw that it was available. So, and it was cheap, so I picked it up. He also, yeah, he'd done White Line Fever, which is another interesting film that it's been ages since I've seen that. But yeah, this is basically the synopsis is it says 1.5 million cache in a secret stash, and only Curtis Hook knows where it's at. The hitch, he's tied up doing time, and his hidden spot is scheduled for demolition, and so he's going to have to go over the wall. Too bad for him. There's a legion of mooks and mugs. And this is what that actually says. Anxious to know what he did with the stolen mob money, and if he can survive his fellow cons, he still needs to get past the corrupt guards. So yeah, this seems like this would be a pretty decent one, Oh yeah, and also another thing that he had done was The Accused, which I had forgotten about that. But as I was looking through that, I found these others that had Jim Brown, and then this one was called Tick Tick Tick, and it has Jim Brown, George Kennedy, and even Frederick March, who played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's kind of interesting. So, yeah, it's kind of a sort of a race one where he's running for sheriff, and people are trying to stop him and things of that sort. So yeah, it says basically two men with nothing in common except the hate that surrounds them. So yeah, that's another one. And then there was this other one, The Split, that has him, Jim Brown. It has Diane Carroll in it, Gene Hackman's also in this. Jack Klugman, Warren Oates, Diane Carroll, and Ernest Borgnine. So this one actually has a good cast in it. So yeah, I guess it's another heist type film. So yeah, definitely be something to check out as well. It says it has a score by Quincy Jones as well, so that's kind of cool too. And then I picked up this one. A lot of these were these Warner Archives, but this one I've been wanting to get for a while. It's a movie called Erga Music War. It's a documentary. It's a bunch of different bands doing about, most of them do about one song, but there are a couple that do a couple of songs. This was filmed around 79 and 80. There's a bunch of like English bands and American bands, and it was filmed at a time where there was just, trying to capture the 80s music scene. It's got like the Police are in it, X is in it, the Go Go's, Only Go Boingo, Joan Jett's in it, Pere Ubu, Wall of Voodoo's in it, Magazine, the Cramps. There's a bunch of really Gang of Four, a bunch of really good bands in it, and there's some really incendiary performances in this. I used to see this all the time on cable, and then when I was in high school, I had the soundtrack to it, and this is definitely one seeking out, to seek out. There's only one thing that like always bugs me, and I know that like when they put this out, a friend of mine had bought this, and there's a band called well, they actually went under a bunch of different names, but I think in the movie they're known as Spiz Oil, but they were actually also known as Athletico Spiz 80 and Spiz Energy. It was always with Spiz because that was the name of their singer. But they had two. There were two songs I think they did, and the performance isn't complete, but they did at least put in the full song for Where's Captain Kirk, which was an amazing song. They had two singles. There was like one called Where's Captain Kirk, and then the next one was called Spock's Missing. And those records were really good and stuff. Spiz is a trip. He's still around and doing stuff. Really nice guy. I used to talk to him on Facebook sometimes. And so then, last but not least, Harmony Korine's Gummo, which this is an epic movie of epic proportions. This is a movie where people either you love it or you hate it. And I know some people that absolutely like hate it. But it's just, you can't even really describe it. I mean, it's just basically the way they describe it here is that it's a haunting portrait of life in small town America after like in the Xenia, Ohio, a world existing in the aftermath of a tornado. But it really has nothing to do with that. It's just basically these people in this town and sort of their day to day sort of things. And there's these two guys that go around and they're just doing a lot of things, but it has Chloe Sevigny in this, and even Harmony Korine himself. One of the best things I like about it, though, is that Linda Manns from The Wanderers is in it, and she plays this one kid's mother. And the kid's taking a bath, and she brings him his dinner, and it's like this platter of spaghetti. So he's like eating spaghetti in the bathtub, and then there's a scene where she's tap dancing like in their attic, and it's just chock full of junk. Yeah, I don't want to go through like the whole thing because some things that people won't really like or get, about it, but it's a good movie, and that's about it. So that was my latest Amazon haul. And so I thank you guys for checking it out and hanging out. And please give it a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you come across us. You can also see me on Cinephile Sanity's channel when we do our watch parties. My channel as well when we do watch parties. And now Juno 2000's channel when we do watch parties. In fact, this Monday, he's got his first rant on his channel about a watch along on Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. And so after that, and tomorrow, Sunday, or today rather, on Sean's channel, Cinephile Sanity, we have, it's our action month, and we're going to be doing the first John Wick. So thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you guys all for always checking it out. Take care.